Some that's clean.
Well, hang on, don't put away dirty clothes.
I'm not. That side is clean, that side is dirty.
Okay.
So I'll get it over.
The Harpers are a large family of 8, with just 4 living at home.
Up we go. And Isaac's still in his
3 of
pot.
the 8 Harper children have Down syndrome, and it's something their parents, Angela and Paul, celebrate.
They make you look at life in a different way. They actually teach you a lot about yourself. I find them quite a leveller when I come home from work, actually, because I might be dealing with quite difficult situations at work with some people with really, life-threatening diseases, and it can be very stressful times. Then you come home,
and I make him change a nappy or something.
Yeah.
You ready to get up and get dressed? Noah's going to choose you some clothes.
Isaac has just turned 2. He's child number 8. Isaac joined the Harper family when he was 9 weeks old. His birth parents had given him up for adoption.
These are brown dresses for Isaac.
Yep. And here he could have this jumper.
Yeah.
Noah is 8. He's the Harper's biological child, born when Angela was 42. He's child number 7.
Can
you put it up high?
Yeah, okay, you put them on the side and I'll put them up in a second.
Lily is 19. She was adopted when the family lived in the UK. At that stage, they had 3 kids of their own, but wanted to make a difference.
Noah? This is your thing. Yeah, I know that, but I'm working right now.
Mum, Angela, trained as a psychiatrist.
Yep, so we make your breakfast?
Dad, Paul, is a haematologist and also leads the committee reviewing national prenatal screening for Down syndrome. The changes being considered could radically alter the number of children born with Down syndrome in the future.
I think it's wonderful having people with Down syndrome in our world, and I think society needs the diversity. And I've heard someone say that if we didn't have Down syndrome, it would be like having a tapestry without the colour yellow.
While other families might take on a project like renovating a house, bringing up children is a lifelong goal these doctors choose to commit themselves to.
I kind of feel the children are something we stuck with, perhaps more than any of my other projects.
But it's a bit difficult because you kind of go into these projects and, of course, you can't drop children. Once you've got them, you've got them.
No.
Because this is too hard and I'm not very good at English. It's not my...
18-year-old Hannah is child number 6. She's at university but still lives at home, so she's able to lend a hand.
Lily was here before I was born, so I've always had children with Down syndrome around, and then I was excited about Noah being born, but because I've never really had a baby without Down syndrome be born, I was just like, oh yeah, just another baby, happened to have Down syndrome.
And then with Isaac?
Yeah, and that was pretty much the same with Isaac.
Angela and Paul's other 4 children are in their 20s and have all left home.
Attach you to your tubing, shall we?
This second crop of kids has provided them with a very different experience of parenting.
We kind of wanted a bit of challenge in our life, and we've both got a medical background, so sort of the thought of, having a challenge that was parenting and involving a medical thing. And I guess you kind of want your way to be a bit eccentric and known. Plus, I very much felt we were on a kind of white middle-class normal path that was put out ahead for us, and it's kind of almost like I feel that's what we were born to do.
7:43.
Well, when we adopted Lily, we were probably naive and very idealistic. Like you are when you're young, you think you can change the world. And we had this kind of conviction that we could help children with disabilities. Angela's the one who kind of drove it. She had to twist my arm a bit, but I think we were naive and stupid, and we're now kind of cynical and jaded, I suppose.
The sausage curled up in bread?
Yes.
Goodness me, I kind of hot dog for your lunch. We could probably do that.
The children have different abilities. The daily challenges for Lily, Noah and Isaac vary hugely, but nothing really phases this family.
I think there's a lack of information and a lack of knowledge about what these disabilities are, and I think they've also got this very outdated view that children with Down syndrome used to be put in institutions and never did very much, and I think people still think their kids are going to be like that.
See ya!
Paul and Angela say their children are constantly presenting them with surprises, achievements they hadn't expected, and new behaviours. At 19, Lily is still at school, but her family is gradually preparing her for work. After a 3rd helping of breakfast, Lily's off to her part-time job in downtown Palmerston North.
Well, Lily is, she's a delightful sort of actress, people person. Always been able to read people quite well, even as a tiny baby. People who were upset would give her a hug and feel comforted by her. And I mean, she does things like, I remember we were in hospital once and there was a very severely disabled little girl and she went up to this girl's parents and I was really worried what she'd say, and she said to them, "She's so beautiful." And, you know, and I thought, oh, Lily, you hit the nail, you know, you did it better than I could have done. So she's great at that.
I guess what I like about Lily is she is, you get what you see, you know, she's right up front there. No pretense at all. She's really who she is. I really like that about her because she's really open. We've sort of seen her mature over the years, really. She started off as this cute little baby, but has sort of grown into kind of, sort of young woman who's trying to find her way in life now, and it's good to see her trying to do things and be a sort of independent person. So those are the great things to think about her.
Lily's birth mother didn't want her, so she spent 5 months in a foster home before the Harpers adopted her.
Wait, wait, wait for the bus, bus, bus.
Well, Lily, we picked her up from her foster parents' home, and we had got such great plans for how we were going to sort of educate her and make her the brightest little girl with Down syndrome ever.
At the time of the adoption, Paul and Angela were convinced it was a positive move. However, not everyone they knew supported them.
Different people told us different things, and someone said to us that we would actually ruin the lives of our children if we did that.
It's quite funny, really, because they've come around so much now that they, regard Lily as just part of the family, and they think she's fantastic. Of course, they think she is the brightest, child with Down syndrome, which is nice.
But negative attitudes repeated as the youngest 2 children joined the family.
Suddenly, people found us objects of pity.
When you got 3, they really think you're a bit odd.
Yeah.
I was in Back and Save recently with 3 of them, and you completely forget that you've got kids with Down syndrome. And I was just doing the shopping, and then the girl on the till said, "Are you from a home?" I thought, "Do I have anything to say?"
Lily works 2 mornings a week in the lingerie department at the local farmer's store. The rest of the week she's at Awatapu College. Okay, what are we doing here, Lily?
We're going to get one of these hangers and then...
And hang them up over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I reach up there? Not
Let me
quite.
help you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is there anything about this job that you find difficult, Lily?
Looking... Before I started...
It's got tissues in it already.
Oh, yeah. I'll put those in then.
Sorry, carry on. Before you started?
I felt tricky about time.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to do that a lot, and it's really hard. So I got myself a watch.
Good
and
idea.
My teacher that does drummer, Val, she's been teaching me time sometimes, and I've been trying to learn it on a different watch and clock because it's different. One is analog.
Like my one.
Yeah, your one and my one's pretty different in that.
While
And,
Lily
yeah.
struggles to tell the time, her family proudly talks of her attributes.
Her social skills are very good at. She knows when somebody's a bit upset, which we don't always recognise. Very good at that sort of thing. And she'll go up to people and just start talking to them as well. She's very good at that. I mean, I can't do that. She'll just walk up to anybody and say, "Hello, I'm Lily," and just talk about it. So whenever we go out, it's not, people in the street will say, "Hi, Lily," and you think, "Oh, so we're invisible."
When do we get to have a cup of tea? Is it break time soon?
I'll have a look at my watch.
We've been working pretty hard.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
It says 9:57.
Mine's a bit fast.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so maybe we'll do a bit more work before we have a cup of tea then.
Yeah.
Okay.